Right, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good whatever it is. Welcome to the bear market of 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027. Who the fuck knows? Is everyone enjoying it? Is everyone having a nice break from the ridiculous rotations we were having that can't keep up with everything that's going on? And presumably now everyone's, slightly upset that things have changed, things have got a little bit harder, things aren't as easy as they were. I'm trying to balance the music so that you can still hear it, but it doesn't blow my ears off. How's that? Does that work? You still hear the music a little bit? Don't know why it changes every time I load the shit up. Hello Khalil, hello Niels. Have I butchered your name? Nope, I read that right, excellent. Mysterious O, Captain Slow, Moritz Pike, good morning. Let's go. So is everyone long? Is everyone short? Is everyone wildly positioned? Or is everyone just chilling? Perfect. Excellent. What up? Rudy Diaz? Not most people's portfolios. That's what's up. Trying to long this. I would, like... Don't actually do this. This is a theoretical experiment because I don't want to get banned from YouTube. But this is the equivalent of going to the kitchen, throwing a knife up in the air, and going, right, let's fucking catch this motherfucker. Let's go. Stand underneath it with your palms ready, trying to grab some fucking delicious altcoin action. Because we've been so spoiled with easy fucking logging for about 5 months. Maybe 6, I suppose. October to March was pretty ridiculous. Waiting for some panic selling, all in USD. Niels, my kind of guy. Don't get me wrong, I've got some shitcoins that are slowly creeping their way towards zero, but it is what it is. Looking for more of a reversal sign, pitting patient, sitting patient, pitting patient, lovely. Nice work, John Russell. Me too. Hello, chap. Hello, Fluzz. That's me. Knives on the way down, lol. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've been really boringly vocal in the group about how, in the Paragon that is, about how I'm just trying to sit on my hands a lot. I'm trying to keep busy, I'm trying to do random things. I'm trying to build a few indicators so that when risk on does come back, it's just easier to trade. Parts of my system, parts of Magus's, part of Doc's will all be automated through screeners so that we can log on, look at what's decent to trade, get a clean view for our systems, for how we like to look at the markets, and just make things easier. And that's what these times, in my opinion, should be used for. Learning, researching, building, not trying to catch the bottom. The range indicator coming? Ooh, maybe. I don't think that tweet got 1,000 likes. So... oh dear. Everyone got scammed by simple terms and conditions. What's up, Charlie? How you feeling, mate? Finn Frickle? I'm feeling good, mate. I'm feeling good. I haven't been chopping myself up on all this shite price action. Like, really, to me, it's just... a lot of people are kind of in denial, like, everything looks like shit. And it's looked like shit for a little while. It's just people don't want to admit it. And it's that perpetual, I'm gonna keep longing it, because that's... we had 6 weeks, 6 months. We had 6 months of up only. So it's no fucking wonder people are conditioned to it, right? But as soon as conditions change, everyone just changes their approach, or doesn't change their approach, sorry. They just keep longing. They keep longing into weakness. They keep fucking longing into everything. And it's just... yeah, you expect a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% breakout, when I don't think we've had one of those in anything particularly liquid for weeks. I'm seeing some bots that indicate a tweet. Cheers, Stanley. Might as well. Now we get 6 months down only. Not necessarily. I mean, I'll go over like thoughts and views in a minute. I just try and capture the mood a little bit to start the stream, because it's always always interesting for me anyway, like gauging the sentiment of you guys, everyone in the audience. You know, it's one of those things where, like, I kind of gauge sentiment by Twitter a little bit, but there's quite a few consistent names in the chat, and hearing your views, hearing how you're positioned is quite interesting. Because if I asked 3 weeks ago, or maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, I'm pretty sure everyone would have said, oh, I'm long something or other. And we were all, you know, best part of March, just looking for reasons to get long in stuff. Sell a May and go away, Charlie? I don't know. I said this maybe last week or in my group stream, one of them on the Outlook or something, that I'm not a big fan of like monthly fractals. Otherwise, you'd just write a very simple algo that just says May the 1st, buy, 31st of May, sell, and just do that. Do you know what I mean? There's a little bit more to it than just cyclical cycles of dates, in my opinion. But if you've got better rationale than me, if you've got a more concise answer in terms of I've gone through all the Bitcoin data, gone through all the altcoin data, there's a clear trend that May is a shit month for altcoins, and BTC, just sack it off. Go for it. But I still think that there's a huge part of timing that isn't entirely cyclical. If you go to war tomorrow, for example, it's going to throw the whole thing out the window, right? I've come to realise most popular people on CT round trip just as much as noobs. Beside me and a select few. Oh no, mate, I do my fair share of round tripping. Like, you know, don't think that I don't lose trades. Like, I probably go over, you know, more losing trades than anybody in terms of just how open I am with them. And that's not to say that other people don't have them, they just don't really talk about them. I tried to short BTC twice. I'm in this. I'm trying to think exactly where. But basically I got cucked out of them both times. I think it was in here. I think that wick took me out. Because what I was looking at was essentially this. But I don't really share like my short setups actively. That's a long setup because I haven't had much success shorting. Although I have still got my whiff short open from up here, wherever the fuck it is, up there. That glorious tweet down to 40 cents or something. Which if that happens, I mean I'm not going to be too happy about it bizarrely because I do have some spot bags. But yeah, sorry Ari, that was a long answer to a short question. Sell May go away? Don't think so. I don't think it's as simple as that. And if it was, why do we bother with all this shit, right? What's the fucking point? Just buy based on a calendar. Just mark it up, set a reminder on your phone, buy, walk away. Close to withdrawing and spending a few months learning tonight properly. I mean, that's not a bad idea, mate. Like, personally, in 2017, like after, well, it was 2018 by the time I did it, but in 2017, I'll just run back to it, and then we'll get on to some actual charting and actual market discussions. Somewhere around here, I basically ran my account, cashed out like 10x. I was up at like 30, 40x still after cashing out 10x, like up here, and then just round tripped it minus 70%. I think it was down here in January, February time, so basically the absolute pico bottom of the market, where I cashed absolutely everything else, any bit of Ethereum, any bit of whatever dog shit I had, all got sold, every fucking penny of it, took everything out of crypto, and said, right, you're not putting another fucking penny into this shit until you've got a plan, a strategy, and at least some form of rules in terms of managing your capital. And that's what I did. I basically spent this period here, not really doing too much, and then it's bear market, boys. I can't afford YouTube Premium. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about Jaguars now. Lovely. Fuck is this? Yeah, so I literally came back with a fully blown plan, and in this period was trading a lot, built a system, built several systems, built indicators, you know, didn't get fucked on this at all. Yeah, lost a little bit and whatever trading, but really not too bad. Like, started building up investments, started like just changing my game entirely. And yeah, the rest is kind of history in terms of this cycle. And I mean, the reality is, if you look at this, and this is one thing that I always fucking talk about, is that, like, parabolic run. I will talk about this again and again and again and again because it happens on every time frame, on any altcoin, and it's a little bit janky in terms of, like, how you draw it and stuff, but, like, you'd actually just draw it on that bit, yeah? Because that's the actual, what's it called? Sorry, I can't multitask. That's the, like, peak euphoria where everything just cuts through price like a hot knife through butter. And that's when everyone and their mother is going along, and that usually signals the kind of end of the momentum, at least for a little while. So yeah, mate, I think it's really sensible. Like, genuinely, cutting, starting again, no harm in it, right? I took a load off my Doge position, which, you know, was a significant amount for me personally. So, you know, that would have been another like 17% drawdown if I didn't actually take some off, realize some profit. But we'll likely round trip some of this, a lot of it. So, yeah, I'm not really in many positions. I've got Whiff, I've got BNB, which I shared in the group. So I was looking for some short exposure. I was pretty late to it. Like, real simple thought process, which is Bitcoin didn't really have a particularly wonderful invalidation down here, like on Monday morning's run up, but like market structure pretty bearish. Kind of wanted to fade this, was a little bit late, didn't really have high time frame confluence in it. You know, this is just the repetition of last week's stream, which is this is a 4-hour downtrend. As soon as we've broken that, it's time to start looking for longs and have a go on some low time frame rotations to the upside. But we headed into this week, which is when I did my outlook on Monday, you know, in that 4-hour downtrend still. So I was basically looking for some form of trend continuation play to the downside, but Bitcoin was just, what was it? It was in quite an awkward place to short, kind of down here. But BNB, on the other hand, BNB had just rejected off a nice high time frame resistance for the third time. It's basically this range here, and had started that kind of approach in terms of bearish market structure. So this is one of my hedges against basically a load of spot exposure that I've got from some pre-sale bags which are vested. You know, this is the thing that everyone's like, oh my god, it's 10x from pre-sale or private price. Yes, but it's vested over 2 years, and you can't really do a lot when the chart does this and slowly goes to zero. So that's, you know, the big downside of that whole approach. But yeah, they're my only two kind of active positions. And what I'm really looking for, like on BTC in particular, like you can kind of see my thought process. I've left a couple of markups from streaming the initial, my kind of initial weekly outlooks, how I start the week every week in the Paragon. I say this is what I'm looking for, these are my triggers, these are my trade ideas, these are the trades I'm going to enter, this is what I'm going to do. Which settings would you recommend for your EMA trend scanner? Just the default ones are good enough, mate. You don't really need to change them, in my experience anyway. So yeah, where are we with BTC? I mean, we're still kind of sat in this range, right? This could be, very well could be, the range low. The thing that makes me think that it's not going to be, well, we are at the range low, but as in this could be, you know, the start of an upward move. And this is the bottom to bid and all of that kind of stuff. Like, I personally don't like just blind bidding unless there are some forms of signs of strength. I'd love it if there was some form of divergence. You could kind of argue that that was a little divergence across those lows, but now it's really kind of played out up here, and we're still in that downtrend. Still in that downtrend in channel, and let's see if we've got anything low time frame to give us any form of hope of taking some form of momentum divergence trade down here. Really not much. So let's just delete this so it's a bit cleaner. Meh. Not great. And, what I want to see is it be quite quick in terms of RSI is, let's have a peep. RSI, you can change the length of it, but by default, it's 14 periods. So you want your divergence to go over 14 candles because that's the same period that you're kind of looking at on the candles. And like this is just slower grinding price action, which isn't particularly great. I like big sell-offs and then into a, punish the kind of late shorters, or sorry, the knife catching longers, and then start that move and diverge off those lows basically. That's what I like to trade, which isn't this. We are sat at those range lows now. What would make me jump into a trade? So pretty much the same thing that I tend to preach anyway, which is a sign of strength. And from a higher time frame perspective, like this is not strength, because simply market structure, it's not in our favor, right? Downtrending market structure just about cleared those lows. If it closes like this as in the daily, might get a little bounce, but then it's probably just going to fucking fall over and flop, right? So you would expect continuation of that bearish market structure, even though we're at support. But we are at support for the nth time. So, first little test, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth technically, seventh. This is the eighth. How many bidders are going to sit at 6,500 and keep bidding? We're already seeing what's happening to alts, which I'm glad I haven't stuck to my usual try and long something strategy in the altcoin arena, because pretty much everything this week is down an amount apart from JCO, bizarrely. And they're not down small amounts, right? They're down, 10-15%, which is pretty mad in terms of just how brutal these markets can be. So I'll add that because to use anything other than spaghetti to easily identify early sector rotations, i.e. memes, RWA layer ones. Yeah, so there's this. This is a Paragon indicator suite, and it's very, very good. Obviously, I'd say that because I am biased. And this just tells you, that BTC is outperforming. Everything else is just getting wrecked. There's no outperformer, no particular element that is really outperforming. You can see that RWA is actually the worst performing. And one of the reasons that I would make note of that is because typically what happens with beta, and we talked about this pretty much every stream, but there's a couple of people whose names I don't recognize, is you get this. So you get Bitcoin doing this up and down, and then you get good altcoin running hard, and then dying much harder, and then running much harder, etc. And that's kind of the behavior that I want to look for what I'm trading. So the fact that RWA is all the way down here, I interpret that as, yes, it is weakness, but when we get that reversion trade, it's likely to be quite good. So if we see RWA starting to really recover, then I'll be looking to get long, if that makes sense. But I tend to use this view on an intraday basis, and this is more for a higher level view of what's going on and where I should be trading and to focus on. So if you've got memes in play, and then you start seeing like Myro or SHIB or Doge or something like that really start taking off, you can play that rotation because you've got the theory that the memes are going to continue in terms of strength. But I also use just my general knowledge of the market. Like, I've been sat in this market for what? 7 years now, which is a depressingly long amount of time. So I know most of the things just off the top of my head, I mean, I don't really need to think too much. But this is for people who are less familiar with it and can kind of then cycle through what each of them are in terms of the indexes. Does that make sense? So really, BTC it is almost certainly too late for me to short this. Like, I don't want to be shorting at the range lows. Do I think it's going to break down? I mean, I think it's got a much higher chance of breaking down than breaking up, and, you know, starting that next leg. But if we get something like this, and a little consolidation and something like that, just like a little literal small sell-off with a very strong V-shaped recovery, then I could look to jump on a fresh long like this. Now, unlikely, given the momentum to the downside, etc. We've even got a reasonably strong dollar. But I really need to see some strength before I actually get, one, excited about the general market, and two, take a fresh long position on BTC. I don't want to try and catch the knife. I just don't. It's not my trading style, never has been. Likely never will be. You know, have fun with $100 on 100x leverage, maybe. That's what I used to do on FTX every now and again. But really, like, I'm not a just simple buy the range low at what is, you know, a parabolic move and a consolidation after a parabolic move. It's just me. I'd rather buy a range high breakout than I would down there. What would be your approach here if you have a 0% spot exposure? So I mean, I'm not far off that in terms of like my perps, because I'm just sat there on what's it called, shorts in terms of WIF and BNB. So if I pretended that they were my only positions and I didn't have anything else in anywhere else, then I'm looking for Bitcoin to lead the way, and it's always that way. It's always that for me, in terms of I want Bitcoin to just show some fucking strength, because I don't want to be picking up spot bags at range lows, at range low BTC, whilst it's not displaying any form of strength, right? Because the risk of it going down to this level, which is what I talked about pretty much every stream I've done the last couple of weeks, and just absolutely putting that final nail in the coffin on altcoins, at least for the kind of short-term outlook, like that 12-13% move, where I think that would be a bid. I think we would have a reasonable bounce. I think if we get that, it would be a really nice trading day, on an intraday trading basis in particular. So not necessarily trying to grab and fully deploy in big bags of spot, but actually just saying, here's my perp account, everything's sold off massively. Let's go to the time frame. It's all sold off massively. What are we going to try and bid? And hopefully, like on a literal 1 second, 5 second, 15-second chart, you're getting that kind of instant up only bid. None of this shite where we're just slowly grinding. You know, the angle of it, and basically for all of it, i.e. seeing a big market-wide bid, would have to be pretty vertical. So that's getting in on a rotation. In terms of getting in on spot, like, I'm not clear on what the next narrative is going to be, right? And I think you're all going to hate me for this one, but it's my honest opinion at this point. I think most of the narratives are done, and I think it's quite hard to envisage the next big narrative, particularly in like bearish conditions like this, right? Like, I think there's still going to be meme coins. There's going to be a ton of meme coins that just have a retarded following and hype up communities massively. And there'll be some that go from, you know, 500k to 100 million market cap. Like, no problems. Why I still dabble on on-chain shitters, right? Because one of them bangs, goes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x, pays for all the other ones. And I'm not encouraging people to go on there and gamble, right? This is something I do with my time because I enjoy it, and because it can be fruitful occasionally. But yeah, positioning longer term for stuff. We've just got to let the market work out the next steps. Like, if we got that 53.5 test, that's where I'd be looking to deploy. I'd be looking for reactions to that level. You know, sell off, reclaim, with strong reversal signs on alts, i.e. big capitulation candles, can't even say it, and a strong V recovery off those for altcoins, and then look at ones that have got good structure. Typically, range, die, do the V reversal, reclaim range, and take that as a stop, and then run it to range highs as target 1 and beyond as target 2. Right? Do I think bull market is over? Like, is it all over and all done with? Don't know. Obviously, certainly hope not. But it does feel like it, as it does every single time we have a couple of weeks of basically negative price action, which is, you know, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of just down only in terms of BTC. But that's after, you know, the best part of a year and a bit just going up only. Is ETH doing the same thing? ETH's actually technically worse, because, you know, from my perspective, it's not actually sat in a range. So Bitcoin looks like this, right? ETH looks like that. It's already had like one markdown from a level, retesting that level. Oh my god, all these adverts. Do you know what? I might treat myself to a YouTube Premium. I say that every week, don't I? But I'm gonna be asked to register my card. I'll be doxed. So yeah. Anyway, like this from a structure perspective still looks shite. I did rejoice last week. Schadenfreude, the German, for shameful joy when everyone was celebrating the low of ETH BTC. Hey, it's back. Fucking up it goes. Because the market fucking sold off. And now, that wasn't them, was it? It was there. And then we instantly fucking sold off. And we were back again. Bang, instantly sold off. Like, it's just fucking stupid. Like, I do want an ETH run, don't get me wrong. But look at it. Like, my 8-year-old daughter could tell you that that's in a fucking downtrend. And that this is just chop, noise. Who gives a fuck? Until it does something like this, right? Until it really pushes, you know, a decent level, breaks this downtrending channel that it has been in for nearly 2 years, and actually shows some strength. Like, a lot of people are playing parts of the cycle, and I've done it in certain parts and certain areas, as though this is the this is what should happen. This is the cycle. This is how it plays out. But everyone's different, and you know, you try and explain ETH to people, they don't really give a shit. People go on ETH and go, "This is dog shit. I've just had to pay $200 to fucking send a couple of transactions." Whereas you go on Solana, and you know, you put a tenner in there, you're probably trading for 2 years. So I think ETH BTC, you know, may very well be dead. I think ETH gas fees is actually a better proxy of when to risk on, risk off ETH USD, but that's just me. So in terms of like getting some spot bags on things like Ethereum, like my levels for ETH are just not as clean, and they're not as good as BTC. So that's what puts me off trying to grab a big spot bag on ETH at some point. You know, it's just not particularly clean, and you'd kind of have to go down to here for it to be clean. And I think if we actually went down to that level, you know, 2k ETH, a lot of people would probably be saying it's fucking over. So if you got something like that, you know, I can't really be too tempted by ETH, to be honest. But anyway, ETH BTC, general weakness, generally shite, monthly downtrend, you know, break it, and then we'll get excited, and then we'll talk about Ethereum. I know a lot of you are probably trying to, you know, get on board meme coins and trying to find the next rotation in terms of meme coins, and that's absolutely fine. But I'm always happy to miss out on the first trade that kind of confirms that risk is going back onto these things, right? Because IMO, it's a little bit of a thick box, that one, isn't it? We've got this nice pivot to play around, real nice on something like Whiff, and if we sell off and reclaim, could be tempted to take that, but realistically, that would need to be a pretty strong buyback, right? I'd be quite happy for Whiff to stop me on my short from up here, and we just fucking run. We clean the highs. Say, fuck you, Charlie. It's going to infinity. Lovely. I'd much rather trade in those conditions than these, but the reality is that's not the conditions we're in. We just have to, for me personally, sit on my hands a lot more. Does anyone got any charts they actually want to look at? Because like last week, we had this long on Ondo, and then I tweeted like, what was it? I basically tweeted, if you... Let's take some of these fucking things off. So I had a long down here, didn't I, on Ondo, from last week's stream, down here. And it literally ran up to there, and I think the original stop was up here. But what I said down here, I tweeted this out, was like, if you break out of this huge range, and you retest the high of that range, you know, former resistance, which is terribly drawn, but you get the point. That is usually a good place for a continuation play. And then if that fails, you know, that's where you cut the whole trade, which evidently had to do. Warm ass hands. Oh yeah, because I'm sitting on them. Yeah, that's pretty much it, mate. Like, I don't know, I just think that there's general places where you might look to take along. So I was looking at OP earlier, and I was like, if we get that ETH rotation that everyone is banging on about, you have actually got quite a nice invalidation in terms of this. It looks better on, what was it? Yeah, 4 hour, essentially. So you got this former consolidation here, and if there was a nice little low time frame divergence, could be a nice rotation, but reasonably still looks like shit. Alright, and that is kind of confluent-ish. Not perfect, but yeah, with former, God, I've drawn that horrifically. With the former consolidation levels and this previous level and kind of this here, not perfect, but yeah, that's one thing I was looking at was OP, but OP is usually pretty low beta, although yeah, and that kind of proves it. It's one of the lowest sell-offs. So remember when I was talking earlier about coins that do this, or Bitcoin is doing this. Well, OP is kind of doing this. It's not really doing as much. SLN. Smartware Network. I presume, like pretty much everything, it shot the bed. Yes. Brilliant. Absolute downtrend. Real wonderful coin that has done absolutely fuck all since it launched, and has literally been down only. Again, this is what I mean, like, even if you're getting chopped up by like reclaims of this down here, I'd rather be trying to long it here than trying to catch it as it's literally just doing this and in a very high time frame downtrend. Look at HNT. I mean, I'm probably gonna say a lot of the same thing to all of these coins, because everything's just fucking shat the bed. Oh, that's interesting. Let's have a look. Staring at OP all day for a scalp, but no dice yet. Yeah. Sometimes it's like that. Yeah, I mean, it's just... just downtrending, mate. Like, You want to see some form of positive reaction, like you just, I don't know, and I presume all these are to get long, right? Because I don't want to short lows, and that doesn't mean it's not going to be the low, or sorry, it doesn't mean it's not going to just sell off and die. But what I find most of the time is if you're like, wait, right, I'll get on a short now, it does this, and you go, oh, fuck it, I'll close. And then it does this. So it's kind of that last, so if it's swept like these highs, then yeah, I could maybe be tempted to jump on the other side of that as a short. As an example, like, I'm not going to trade helium, to be very clear with you, but, you know, I'm not going to short those. But equally, there's just no strength. There's no strength across the market. We think it's over, guys? It's a good question. The chat. Is it over? Yes, it is over. Just type yes. No, it is not over. Type no. Off you go. Put your balls on the wall. Or not balls, depending on your preference. Yes, it's over. Sebastian first in. I'm saying no. Stanley, no. Nah. Pinfrick, just very casual no. In the form of nah. Didn't respect the rules of the game. But it's okay. It's not a big sample size, is it? Let's be honest. Jury's out on that one then. Jury's out. A lot of people not volunteering an opinion in a fictitious poll. That's alright. Do I think it's over? I don't have a fucking clue. Don't really care. Chop till Q3. I suspect what we get. I actually kind of agree with you, John. If I had to guess, gun to my head, and you said, right, Charlie, I can draw the next few weeks, months of price action on BTC. Otherwise, you know, I'm going to kill you. Okay. If I had to guess, I would say we come back, we retest this, we get a nice little rally, everyone gets fucking super bullish again, we kill everyone off, and we come down and we wick like a motherfucker down here. Everyone declares the market dead, and then we just fucking go. And I mean, like, seriously, like, everybody's fucked. If you are not turbo bullish, and you don't just buy as we clear some levels, you get fucked. And we basically go into this mode again. I think it'll be quite fast. And I actually think that timing's wrong. I think if I had to choose the timing, so keep the structure, I think it would probably happen similar timing to this year, actually. September-ish. So sort of here. And off we go. So it'd be pretty fucking brutal for the next few months. I.e. touch grass. If you want to go learn and actually build a system, do some research, etc. There's a group I might know where you can spend your time doing that. That's what a lot of us are doing. More like a pause. I like that. Yeah. Reverse left, the new 58k wick gets swept. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe this. And that's exactly what I mean in terms of like low time frame range reclaim setups, like really nice. You just, well, sorry, higher time frame range reclaim setups, just, you know, along the reclaim of the range low. Real simple shit. Nothing particularly complex. I'll bring back the numbers for a better sample with a good old rip tease. Yeah. When people say chops, at least 50% move down, and I'll slap them. Yeah. That's actually fucking brilliant. That is so true. I might steal that. That's fucking brilliant. Oh, that's a banging tweet. I'm actually gonna tweet that out right now. Thank you for writing content for me. Might even just stick a little chart with it. Let's find something. So let's find the Pico highs of the market so that it looks even more brutal. Yeah, that looks fucking savage, doesn't it? Come and play Classic, Kata Classic on beta, mate? Nah. Sadly not. I'm going to play retail. Continue to play retail. I'm going to get Gladiator Season 4, because I'm a nerd. And that's one of the things that I'm going to do in my time in the next couple of weeks. Focus, playing. Playing a bit of WoW, chilling out. Getting some stuff ready for the summer. Potentially moving house, so I can tell you this is where we got our house valued. This is where we started looking at houses. I wish I was joking. So I do apologize. Here and here. I have single-handedly kept the market because I'm a narcissist and the entire market revolves around me in my life, obviously. See, I have Sauron on that spaghetti? Yeah. It's, there's a lot going on. Square footage dripping fast? No. No. I'm very sensible for my sins. Is the new WoW good? Same as old? It's the same thing, mate, repackaged. It's actually much faster, I think, these days, or I'm a lot older, or both. And there are elements of it that are better, and elements of it that are worse. Such good interest rate, it's hard to sell. Well, what do you mean on your house? In terms of mortgage and stuff? Yeah, I mean... I'm not in that situation. Yeah, the casa. The casa. Yeah, I'm not in that situation. Put it that way. I've been very blessed by crypto. But stamp duty is fucking ridiculous. Anyway. What's your top 3 pieces of advice for a trader just starting out? Ooh, that's a good one. Because it's really difficult to nail it down to 3. Ooh. I think the one that I always go back to and I always see people fail at, and fail at massively, is have and make a plan. Sign up for Paragon. Yeah, that's number 2. No, I'm not going to use it as an excuse to shill a group while everyone's magical internet money is disappearing. So, top 3 is 1, have a plan, and by that I mean it can be invest in meme coins, it can be, you know, you're going to dev stuff, it can be whatever the fuck you like, but set the parameters of your trading. That means both your risk in terms of where are you wrong, your size in terms of how you're sizing each of your gambles, where you're taking profit, etc, etc, etc. And record all that and make that a process, right? Treat it like a business. So it's kind of more than one thing, but I see it as all the same thing. Plan, do, review is literally, you know, you do that throughout anything in life. When I had a job, that was what I would do. I'd make plans, or budgets, or business plans, or whatever it would be, and then you would review them, right? That's what we do in all aspects of our life to improve things. So that's probably number 1. Number 2 is network. Your network is genuinely a net worth. Like, a lot of people do this in isolation, and they'll sit there and they'll do the step 1, and they'll be like, great, but sharing those plans with other people and seeing their views. You know, I'm a culmination of other traders in terms of the advice I've taken from other people, what I've noticed that they do and they've done, and their psychological strengths, their psychological weaknesses, their technical abilities, their technical inabilities. You know, taken certain things from some people. I think that's a really good approach. I can totally understand that view of the market, and then watch them completely fuck it up with something that I can go, well, actually, I can annihilate that anomaly 5 out of 10 times, or, 50% of the time is a more eloquent way of saying it, by combining it with this. Okay, great. Well, I'm starting to, bring a system together based off other people, and really filtering out noise and crap. And someone said earlier in the stream that, like, a lot of crypto Twitter is noise, and it is. Like, I hate Twitter at the moment. It's pretty depressing. Like, a lot of the louder you are and the more retarded you are about things, the more attention you get. I guess it's the way of social media, but it's the way it is. It's why I don't post any majorly bearish tweets unless they're like obviously piss takes anymore, because it's just fucking pointless. You just get fucking shot in the head for it. I tweeted something like, I think it was back here. Where was it? Back here. And I said, if the bull market ended now, would you be happy with what you cashed out? And all we've had since is fucking huge sell-off. Yeah, guess I should spell it out for people. So 1 plan, 2 network. What's the third one? Probably patience. I mean patience in a big sense of the word. So not just, oh, I'm waiting for this to play out. It's patience with yourself, because psychologically you're going to have bad days. You're going to learn that when you're tired you can't trade, for example, which is one of my massive triggers of bad trading. And I'm still susceptible to it now, particularly as it's hay fever season. I've had a steroid injection and stuff, which because I get it pretty fucking badly. That helps me massively, but it makes me more tired. So I'm really glad that this is a real shit trading period for me to trade. So it's really easy for me to sit on the sideline. So I wake up, fill my little journal in and go, how do you feel? Like shit, tired, fucking not with it. Alright, great. Well, is the market hot? No. Alright, well fuck it off then. Right? Simple as that. And so that's what I mean by patience. It's not just with the market, it's not just waiting for the trade setup and watching price do this, or you're waiting for it to do this. Right? It's patience with yourself. Does this, you miss it. You go take a piss. Fuck. You go out, you take your daughter to school, you do something like that. Or you buy here again, and then you oversize the position a little bit, so you sell here, or it taps here, and then you sell the whole thing, but your original stop was down here. You're going to make these mistakes, and sometimes it'll do this. And you'll be like, what a fucking genius. But the question is, is that the plan? Should you be doing that? Are you a discretionary trader? Are you a systematic one? That plan, do a review process. And then that patience of thinking about trading as a multi-year time horizon task, as opposed to, well, I'm here, I've put $10,000 in this, I should be rich in 3 months' time. I can do $10,000 to 10 million, because I've seen some cunt do it on Twitter with Dodge come Super Rocket Safe Moon 69. Right? Charlie walking around jacked? Absolutely not. I am not jacked in the slightest, my friend. I'm not particularly unfit these days, but no. I don't feel the need to lift heavy objects, and that'll offend some people. My my Neanderthal ancestors did a good job of that, so I don't have to. So you have days where you take no trades at all? Yeah, of course. I have plenty of those days. I basically don't trade weekends anyway. I like my family time. I've got, a young daughter, and I like spending time with her and my wife, and what's the point in doing all of this if you can't have that time together, right? So What was my capital when I started out? It was... I was quite lucky, to be honest. Well, I wasn't lucky. I worked fucking hard for it, so... No, it wasn't luck. I worked hard. I'm not going to play the humble game. It was enough to not worry about things for, you know, an elongated period of time. A lot of people say like 2 years. I don't think I had 2 years reasonably, but I had enough. So, you know, it's very different than somebody working a job with $2,000 or pounds or whatever, or £5,000 trying to grind it up. Like, you know, I would never recommend somebody quit their job and go all in crypto with, you know, only a month or two salary in the bank, or salary, you know, life expenses in the bank. Just forces you into such terrible decisions. And you know, if you're serious about trading in that respect, try and get like a job at a trading firm or at a market, or yeah, at a market orientated kind of business. Not necessarily as a trader, maybe as a researcher or something like that. Like, you know, think laterally if you really want to be involved in markets. There's plenty of other ways to do it. Struggle with overtrading and revenge trading. Any tips to counteract? Yeah. Join my group. No, I'm joking. So revenge trading is something I struggled with to start with because I didn't think I was wrong. And I think I had to learn to just accept my losses, and that was a real personal challenge for me because I fucking hate losing. I'm hyper competitive, like hyper competitive, like personality disorder or something like that. If there's such a bullshit thing, then I've probably got that. I'm far too competitive, so I had to learn to lose. That was my big thing for revenge trading. And the way I did that was I talked to people I considered to be top traders at the time and said, you know, quite honestly, what's your win rate? And what do you do after like a couple of losses? When they just go, well, it's part of the game, I don't care, I've managed my risk, and you know, I accept it as I put the trade on. And one thing that helps me, or helped me a lot, and it still does, I suppose, is I write down how much I'm willing to lose on this trade. Because you're kind of putting it as like a bet, right? You're saying, I'm going to bet this, and I'm going to bet, let's just make the maths easy, I'm going to bet 10%. Like, this isn't the trade I'm going to fucking take, right? But let's just say it's 10%. And I've got a $100,000 portfolio. So am I willing to bet 10 grand that support holds? And at the point of taking that trade, I ask myself that question. Sometimes I say it to myself out loud. Am I willing to bet 10 grand that it doesn't just do this, fucking sell off, and then do this? No. Am I willing to bet $100 for a nice Twitter P&L card? Absolutely. Let's go, boys. But that, asking yourself the question out loud, and storytelling, that was one of the things how I got started in terms of just talking through the trade with myself. What's my theory? You know, theory is everything I've told you, you know, in reverse. That we've had all these tests at this level, not broken out, and then why is my stop here? Well, because I think instead of coming to this level, it will get front run. And, you know, even me saying that out loud, I think that's fucking stupid. I think that's fucking stupid. I think the higher EV trade is something like that. So, you know, poor trade idea. But yeah. Talking out loud is one of them. Setting a daily, excuse me, a daily loss limit. So, you know, you take 3 trades in a row, you're out. Or you lose $500, you're out. Or you have to size down or something like that. The only times you're allowed to override that, you specify. So I had a rule as an example when we had the XRP case looming over our head, that if that came out, didn't matter what my rules were, I could go for it, right? Because I knew that if it went in the favour of, which it did, you know, in the favour of XRP, Ripple, it would do a fucking fat move. I think I caught it like 20% up or something stupid, and it ran to 80. I think even live on stream in the Paragon, I longed it when it was 75% up, and basically took like 8% out at the top. So it was, yeah, you know. And I think that day I'd had a loss or two. I don't think I'd reached my limits, but it was that's just a good example of where there's this big market-wide news event that I know is coming at some point. If my P&L looked like this for the day, I can still trade it because that's not going to come up, particularly in the bear market where basically volatility was like this on every fucking altcoin. So this was like the only known volatility event coming up. But yeah. I think most people trading, including myself, a few years ago, hoping for outrageous 1 year gains, started compounding reasonable gains over 5-10 years as I learned. Yep, that's it. I coach some accountant. The tax season is like 2-week Navy SEAL training for 4 months. Yeah, we all work very hard. Yeah, cheers, mate. Is there any way to avoid taxes with crypto in the UK? If there is, then you can tell me about it in DMs. They're open. But no, I don't think it's worth trying to avoid tax, to be honest with you. And the reason that I say that is, well, 1, I'm an accountant. 2, I don't want to go to jail. And 3, I think it's really fucking dumb. It's such a bad trade in terms of EV, right? Like, I don't know. Let's say you don't pay any tax, yeah? You pay none. Let's say that happens. You've just saved yourself 20, 30%, whatever it might be. Right. You then get investigated, and you end up going to jail. Was it worth it? I don't know. There's not anywhere in my mind that that's worth it. Pay 20% tax. I mean, it's not even bad in the UK. Right. Well, if you're trading for income, it's income and it's 50% tax. So, yeah, you tell me that's not bad. It's not great. Yeah. Something definite taxes. Yeah, exactly, Kevbot. So yeah, I'm sorry guys, this stream's been quite quiet. Hopefully I've instilled some sage knowledge just around patience, some practical techniques for being more patient, some thoughts around next leg of the market, how to get on board that next leg when it happens, because you know we will return to bullish conditions at some point, but I can't tell you whether that's going to be today, whether that's going to be tomorrow, whether that's going to be 6-7 weeks time, fuck knows, right? Yeah, is there any other questions? Any other glaring? You've never been to jail, try serving at one? Oh, they don't get it? Yeah, it just doesn't interest me, mate. Like, not the serving bit, like it's the going to jail bit. I'm not sure I would survive. Lisbon times always appreciated. Thanks, mate. And same to you guys. Like, I really appreciate you guys being here. Am I building the XO range indicator? I might do. I'm trying to push. I'm trying to push other indicators out in the group. So we've got basically we're kind of redoing all of them, and we're trying to amalgamate some into one. We're trying to build a couple of scanners, which I alluded to earlier. Which we've got the altcoin scanner, we've got a few other bits and pieces coming up, so I'm kind of a bit focused on that rather than, you know, publicly available stuff. But it's kind of a selfish asshole. But you know, this is a public stream. This is free to be here to enjoy my dulcet tones and my 7 years of experience of the crypto markets. Good God. It's more depressing every time I say it. But yeah, cheers guys, I appreciate the support for everyone being here. if you do the likes and whatever, like, subscribe, comment, send me feet pictures, I don't know, whatever the stuff is, it's hugely appreciated. And I'm going to schedule all of these for the same time next week. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more positive price action. Hopefully we'll have a few more things to look at. And generally, I'm going to leave you with just a couple of thoughts, which are, in terms of ranges, like BTC, kind of want to see this. Reclaim, that's where you get along. In terms of alts that are in the middle of fucking nowhere, 4-hour market structure, dying, and then hopefully we get some sort of capitulation candle. Want to be on that rotation. That's where I really want to get on board just for a rotational play, and then just like literally look at that trend. But more likely than not, those trends will end in capitulation and then ranging, in my opinion. But that would be the best scenario for all of us if it ended up like this and we just ranged for a bit and we got a chance to reaccumulate for another leg later on. Anyway, on that bombshell, au revoir. See you next week.